This is the Fan Connection Podcast where we talk all things sports entertainment. We're your hosts. I'm Royce the Kid Michaels.
And I'm the real deal Devin Steele. Thanks to everyone who's listening.
Let's get right into it.
Bad Blood War Games Part 2.
For this second half of the Bad Blood War Games edition, one of us will be going through a table.
By way of diving from the top of a ladder.
The choice of which will take the move is completely up to y'all, the fans.
Like for Royce Michaels to go through the table.
Comment if you want to see Devin Steele go through a table.
Make your choice now. Bringing the Smackdown, October 18th.
And in our first little segment, Jey Uso, main event, confronted Solo Sikoa. And I'm not even going to lie, all this is good storytelling. And it's starting to look like Solo wants to show a little remorse for Jey.
It seems like he does have a soft spot for Jey, doesn't he?
Because he did hold Jacob back, so what does that mean?
And he tried to reason with Jey. He's like, please choose the right side, And so it basically they're talking about Solo saying the bloodline's stronger than ever, and Jey is like trying to point out that they're actually like pretty divided. And so, I mean, my big question is, Jey, you said no on Raw. What are you doing here?
Yeah, like what's the point of you being on SmackDown if you said no? But technically, I mean, I guess it'd be like, oh, I came here to say this on my own, But then he was like, I don't know, man. It's just Jay's not making no sense. You know what I mean? But maybe we do see Jacob do something in this upcoming IC title match on Monday because Solo did hold him back.
Yeah, bro. Jey, I like you and all, but you cannot beat Jacob for 2. You're going to get your little title taken and go home and cry. But in the next match, DIY defeats the Street Profits and Pretty Deadly to advance in the number 1 contender tag team titles tournament.
I just want to say I figured this match would have been a banger, and it really was. I'm just not a fan I'm not a fan of the Pretty Deadly at all. Like, I'm really glad DIY got the win, and I don't think that the Street Profits were just gonna get another shot just like that because they were just in the picture with the tag titles. But DIY's been there too, and we know that they're not beating the Tongans, so I don't know what this is doing for the tag division, really.
DIY can't deliver on beating the Bloodline. And I like all of these teams.
I was about to say, they're all entertaining to watch except Pretty Deadly to me.
I don't even think Pretty Deadly's a bad team. I just don't think they're gimmicks for everybody.
And then our next match, Lash Legend defeats Piper Niven. And if you don't know who Lash Legend is, she's with that new team that we called the fake Funkadactyls. But I think Lash is actually starting to show her true strengths in the ring, that she's a powerhouse. And I can't wait to see her and Jay Cargill finally get into it because I know that that's going to be more interesting than what we're seeing now.
She's definitely a big woman. Like, she's got to be close to 7 foot tall.
And she was towering over the ref. I don't know if you've seen that, but like Piper Niven ain't the shortest woman, and she was towering over her too.
She's got to be close to 7 foot. And I mean, this is an impressive debut. Call me crazy, man. I like Chelsea Green. I like Piper Niven. It seems like maybe they're going to do something with that team going forward.
I'll be down for it. They actually seem like they got a little bit of talent.
But
I'm all for it.
They started crap with Damage Control on Raw.
And just left them
hanging. Yeah, and then they just dipped. That's
man.
Crazy. The WWE Undisputed Champion invites Gunther to SmackDown next week to talk about their match at Crown Jewel, I guess.
Like we didn't see that on Raw. Like they were literally on Raw together talking about this. Like, did you not get everything you wanted to talk about done? Now we got to see it again next week.
And I imagine it's going to be a lot of the same, right?
I mean, what else could they say,
He said, I hate being on SmackDown. This is the secondary show.
Like, you're a disgrace, Cody.
You are the champion for this doo-doo show. You know what I mean? That's probably what it's going to be. But I'm still calling Gunther to beat Cody at Crown Jewel.
If Cody stays face, he's losing. Just saying. But in our next match, it was another tag match. We had Motor City Machine Guns versus A-Town Down Under and Los Garza. And all these guys were doing good. It's just Motor City Machine Guns, if nobody's aware, they're TNA legends. Like, they've been around. And they made their mark. In their first match, their first official tag team match in WWE, they made their mark. And it was a good match.
Yeah, I don't really know them, but I feel like I've seen them before.
Chris Sabin used to be a TNA world champion, if I'm not mistaken. Like, he's pretty established, you know. And the other guy that's in his tag team with him, like, I'm not really too sure of him, but I know he's pretty good too. And, like, you know, in the match, you could just tell that, you know, the faster pace they were going, they're comfortable in the ring.
Could these guys be the ones to beat the Bloodline for those titles?
God, I hope so. That'd be nice. I don't really like the Tongans having them,
Me
to be
either.
honest. But at the same time, that's the only thing the Tongans
And we
have.
basically got two teams that don't defend the titles.
Exactly.
And so...
And we're stuck in two, not just one on SmackDown, but they're also on Raw. They're like, both brands are having a tag team tournament right now. It's kind of crazy.
I mean, seems like some hot action to me, man. You know, cool spots in the match, the neck breaker and splash finisher.
There's so many good spots. I was just going to say that. That was one of the things that had me interested, because, you know, most of these new tag teams that come in, they don't really they don't try, to make the match good. These guys made the match good in their first match, so, like, just imagine what they're going to do on down the road. You know?
If they show their personality, there might be a chance they win those tag titles right out the gate. But in the match of the night, Nia Jax and Candice LeRae defeat Bayley and Naomi.
And what's crazy is Candice LeRae's actually the one who got the pinfall. She even surprised Nia Jax on that.
She basically did all the work.
She did.
Like,
she was actually entertaining in this match, bro.
Nia Jax got bullied the whole time, bro. Like, she wasn't the legal contender. She started the match off, and that was it. She wasn't even legal for the rest of the match.
But I'm sick of seeing Nia Jax, bro, because, like, she's our women's world champion right now, and, like, we're not seeing nothing out of her, you know? Like even when Bayley was champion, like it was more interesting, I think, than what Nia Jax is doing, you know? Because, like, her storyline right now is just going along with Tiffany, and she's got the money in the bank, so I really don't like that, you know?
Yeah, and I just don't know if this is the best presentation for the women's WWE champion.
Like, they had to get her tag team partner that never wrestles for real. No offense to Candice LeRae, but, like, they had to get, that just looks bad. You know, the champion didn't even get the pinfall.
And Indy Hartwell was the one that, like, made it where that was possible. Why couldn't have Nia Jax have pushed Bayley into the ring post or something, you know?
That's what I'm saying, man. It's just a lot of the female division right now needs a little bit of work, I think. Like it's close, but it needs a little bit of work.
I think it's been that way for a long time.
Facts. But then after that, Roman acknowledged Solo,
but not as his tribal chief. So what does that mean, man? Like, he respects Solo?
I guess more in the lines of, like, he acknowledged Solo, like, I guess he acknowledged him as,
Like
his little
own
cousin,
man or whatever?
He acknowledged him. You're my little cousin. You're doing your own thing pretty much. And then he said, no, acknowledge me as tribal chief. And he was like, or else what? So that means that Roman's still not giving up. You know what I mean? He's still OTC. He's still fiending for that bloodline. You know what I mean?
The Ula Fala is earned, not taken. So, he feels as if it's rightfully his still, you know? It's like, Solo took it. Some people would say that is earning it, though.
But, I mean, Roman tried to hold his own for a second in that little segment. And then after that, we see Jimmy get pulled out onto the apron, or onto the ramp, I mean. And then, that was just what's gonna happen after that? Jay done left SmackDown. What's he gonna do?
Solo says, "All right, man, nothing's ever gonna change." And so they all start fighting.
Solo pulled a carrying cross. Get him. And then, but the whole bloodline, all of them, Roman and Jimmy's not enough. It's not going to be enough. And if Jay's not going to help them, they're going to have to go talk to Sammy Uso.
And I feel like we've seen this same thing 3 times where Roman kind of whoops them for a second, and then he gets the Ulafala, and then he goes to put it on, and somebody attacks him or whatever, and it doesn't happen. And, and you know what I think's wrong with it? I think the thing is, he puts it on, and then he gets it taken back off of his head. He should never put it on. So then it could be a big moment when he finally does get it around his neck. I don't know, maybe.
And it's like the tribal chief that just couldn't,
Yeah.
Not the tribal chief that could, but the tribal chief that couldn't. I don't know. Roman Reigns so dominant, bro, and Solo's still too new to me. You know what I mean? Just in the whole, what we've seen as a whole from Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso, something's gonna happen here. Something's finna happen. It's gotta happen. Or this just isn't gonna be what it has to be. And I think that might be. It may take Jay losing the IC title and the Tongans losing their tag titles for it to happen.
It's either Braun or Jacob Fatu to be taking the IC title, I believe. And maybe that could send LA Knight to Raw. And I really think that's where he needs to be.
I think so too. There really ain't nobody else for LA Knight to be feuding with here on SmackDown. But as of this episode, I think that's about it.
Another classic Bloodline ending, everybody. Mark your calendars for next Friday.
You probably already guess how it's going to end.
And that's about it for this episode.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe.
As for the fan connection, we're out of here.